1.5 kilowatt hour per year per square foot. That's about 57% savings over the Building America benchmark, Building America being a program that's been created to define how we should be building houses in the future. We did this, first of all, talking about the envelope, the walls, the roof, and the foundation. What we discovered from looking at these comparative analyses is that really passive house standards were not really very cost effective. And this is a conclusion that we've seen echoed in a number of other articles, which is that at least in this area, R40 walls don't necessarily make sense in terms of cost. What we ended up using or specifying was R45 SIP roof, a 9.5 inch engineered wood I-beam as studs, which we've actually, Medich Murphy has used in projects before, and using R33 cellulose in the cavity, and then an inch of extruded polystyrene foam on the outside. The wall assembly has an R value of around R30 if you consider all of the thermal bridging. And again, we found that that was about as much as made sense. Adding a lot more insulation didn't necessarily pay off. So we also looked at passive resilience. What happens if there's no power in the house? So we ran some passive analyses and discovered that with that layer of insulation, in fact, you stayed well above the freezing point in the winter, and in fact, you were above the point where you would have any problems with condensation in the walls. There is a bit more, does get a little hot in summer, but we believe that this is a more easily solvable problem in terms of having just a few days of power outage than if your pipes freeze. And so by using this high performance envelope, we were able to reduce the cooling load from 1.94 tons to 0.9 tons. Saves a lot of money on equipment. That's part of the affordability. Using CR22 ducted mini splits and an air-to-air outdoor unit, we again decided that the bang for the buck with the geothermal wasn't sufficient, especially if we had a really efficient envelope. Energy recovery ventilator, high performance lighting, and so on. So most of you already know these technologies. The renewable energy systems, I'm not going to go into these in a lot of detail. Each unit had obviously the solar panels on the roof. It had its own inverter. It had a combination of a panel which would provide for critical loads like pumping water during a power outage, and the refrigerator so your food wouldn't go bad, and then you'd have load shedding for the non-essential loads. And again, combining all of the infrastructure in the greenhouse so that people can understand how their power system works too. Challenges and opportunities here is obviously that high performance construction like this is not always affordable to many home buyers. The opportunities here include involving residents, volunteers, and job trainees following sort of the Habitat for Humanity model. The project provides on-site job training in sustainable construction, and hopefully that will, by having that cycle where we're training more people how to do it, it will make the cost come down, which will make it something that people want to do more of, and there'll be more jobs and more training, and everything will, and the unicorns will come in. So. Summary, the idea was to create a sense of community through shared resources, collect water on site and energy on site, to give people control over their own sort of destiny in terms of energy and water, to promote resilience and address sustainable and affordable living on a long-term basis as opposed to just affordable housing. Food production and composting also empowers residents to help build a better and healthier lifestyle where they're actually having the chance to grow their own food. And the gardens also provide nourishment for the soul, reconnecting with people, people with nature. Sorry. And in order to make projects like this work, though, and make them cost-effective, we really do need to rethink the way that we fund things, the way our evaluation system. There's going to be a lot of work to be done outside of the field of architecture, and I think that the Come Together people had a great presentation in terms of talking about how to make that happen, and so kudos. And that's it.